Now to our top story tonight. Drugs, intimidation, a gruesome beating, and cold-blooded murder, all part of a new death penalty indictment against two Columbus men. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ellie Merritt.
And I'm Mark Taylor. Those suspects accused of killing witnesses to prevent them from going to police about a Columbus drug ring. NBC4's Harrison Hove joining us live. And Harrison, all these crimes happened at the same Hilltop home.
It did. We covered these stories back in February, all happening on Whitethorn Avenue. That's in the Hilltop neighborhood, of course. Now, these two men here that are going to show up on screen, this is Michael James Favors and Antoine Hutchinson. They could ultimately face the death penalty in that case, being indicted for murdering two witnesses.
It's alleged that they beat and intimidated people who worked for the organization to make sure they didn't steal and to prevent them from cooperating with law enforcement.
These two men, Antoine Hutchinson and Michael James Favors, accused of running drugs across the Buckeye State. Court documents show they used fear, intimidation, and violence to keep people who worked for them in line, which is ultimately what left multiple people dead, according to the indictment. Court documents reveal the two men beat Cody Campbell with a 2x4. Afraid he was working with police. The pair locked his mother in a room during that beating. Days later, Campbell died.
I think the law takes very seriously the prospect of tampering with witnesses by the use of force and indeed killing them, because you can see that reflected in the statutory penalties.
The two then stand accused of trying to cover their tracks. Investigators say on February 23rd, they returned to Whitethorn Avenue to silence two more witnesses, including Cody Campbell's mother, Sydney, who investigators say was locked in that bedroom while her son was beaten just days earlier. Campbell and Marie Stamp both shot and killed.
If you actually kill a witness to prevent that person from cooperating, that's a mandatory minimum of life in prison, up to death.
There are other witnesses in this case, all being protected closely to ensure their safety.
Those are valid concerns in this case, and we have taken steps to, for example, relocate some witnesses. So that's something that we're very sensitive to in this case.
Now, the U.S. District Attorney tells me that ultimately U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions will make the decision as to whether or not to seek the death penalty in this case. Reporting live in the studio tonight, Harrison Hove, NBC4.
Harrison, thank you. New